tote bag.
Oh, nice.
And then just whenever the inspiration hit her, would do it. I'm not sure how she handled the wet paint portion of it. She might have carried it in her hand at that point.
Well, she was doing watercolors. She just add a little water and they dry right back up. So maybe that's what she was doing.
I think that they were perhaps oil.
Really?
They were just little dabs of oil. But I thought it was a brilliant idea because, you can paint outdoors with oils, pastels, watercolors, acrylics, just about anything to express and capture your creativity. But she kind of took it to a really cool mini DIY thing to do.
That is pretty amazing with that Altoid box.
Yeah.
I suppose any little thing that you could come up with, even Tupperware might work.
Maybe, yeah.
Outdoor painting is for everyone. You don't have to have all the equipment to make it work because you're painting small pictures. You have more time, I think, to really enjoy the environment.
You do, and it's a great way to experience nature from the mountains to the sea, although some people paint cityscapes. So, if you're a city person, then that's good for you. And I've also noticed that for some people, it gives them a purpose to explore new places that you might not normally be comfortable exploring. Because sometimes some people might feel uncomfortable in new situations or new environments. So it gives you a purpose of being there and takes the awkwardness and discomfort out of being somewhere new.
Well, as a lot of people know me quite a bit for my photography.
Right.
I was a commercial photographer for many years, and now I take what I call happy snaps here and there. But I remember when we were in Paris and I painted the Arc de Triomphe.
Arc de Triomphe, yeah.
Yeah, I said that right?
Yeah.
I actually did an illustration, and I know I took a picture or two, but when I did that illustration, it really sunk into me. I mean, I really felt the whole presence. And then later, when I pull that up, a year later, 2 years later, whatever, when I pull that painting or that sketch out, I look at it and it just totally re-immerses me in that environment. I've never really felt that way when I took a photograph. You take a photograph, you do the composition, you make sure the lighting's right, whatever. You pop off the sunset and go, oh, well, that was nice. But when you have to really sit there and draw something or paint something, you become very connected with it because you're studying it so closely.
That's so true. And when I look at that drawing that you did in your sketchbook, it does have a life of its own. Like there is a connectivity to it when you are looking at it. And I don't know, some photographs I feel that way about, but not consistently. I don't know that I get that energy of, oh my God, there's very few that you feel that connectivity with.
Well, if you're drawing and you're painting, it's very tactile. On a camera, you're just clicking the shutter. And then maybe you're doing some processing on Photoshop or something when you get back. And I used to shoot film, so you were doing a lot of processing. But there's just nothing like doing a drawing or painting something that you see, because I guarantee you it will be embedded in your memory forever.
Truth on that one. Well, today we're going to have Deborah Czernecky with us. She is a plein air artist and has some beautiful artworks that I know you guys are going to enjoy looking at in our show notes. But the focus will be on her unbelievable adventures she has while plein air painting.
Just listening to a few of her stories when we chatted with her on the phone was really fun. It was really fun to hear her adventures in nature. Plus, she's very, very talented. Deborah, welcome to the Thought Row podcast. Angie and I have been really looking forward to chatting with you.
Yes. Hi, Deborah. So good to have you with us today.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's so good to have you. We know you're a very creative and talented artist, and we're very excited to talk to you about your career as a plein air painter. But before we begin, we like to start our show by asking what you had for breakfast.
That's because we're bored and we never know what to eat, so we always ask everybody.
Meal plans.
Okay, I like starting my day out with dessert. So this morning I had apple pie and a banana.
Oh, I like that.
I like that a lot.
So good. Well, you've got all your fruits.
You got your fruits.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in good shape.
And energy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's probably one thing really important to discuss right off the bat, because a lot of our listeners probably don't know exactly what plein air means. Could you describe that for us?
Okay, well, it's a French term, and it basically means fresh air. But in my world, as a plein air painter, it means painting outdoors on location and basically painting the painting in one session.
Okay.
So, from start to finish, and most of us will go back to the studio and do a little tweaking, but the majority of that painting, like I would say over 90% of that painting, is done right on site.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't know that.
I didn't know you had to do
I never
it in
really
one,
thought
one
about
session.
that. I never thought about that in one session.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, if you go to the major plein air competitions and things like that, you get your painting surface stamped, you go out there's a time limit on it, and then you bring it back, and then it goes on, and it's, maybe it's judged or just put up for display, and that's it.
Okay.
So no pressure.
Yeah, I could imagine. That leads us to the next question is, why did you decide to become a plein air artist?
I guess it's I came from a family of artists, and I was always, the arts I find great, but I guess it's my love of the outdoors. I really enjoy going camping and hiking and kayaking, and just being surrounded with all that beauty is so inspirational. So I think that's what led me to go outside with the paintbrush.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so beautiful. And were there other artists in your family that encouraged you to paint?
Well, my mom side of the family, there's lots of artists. Even today, we have installation artists and musicians and singers. And in my mom's time, there was a couple of actors with Dark Secrets and an opera singer. And growing up, we were actually quite surrounded in art. Not only did we do gymnastics, but we had to all learn a musical instrument in the family. And we also went to theater school, and the only thing I didn't do was dance. And it was one of the things I wanted to do, but not enough time in the day.
I guess not. It sounds like you guys were really busy learning a lot of creativity and just being able to express yourself. So that's really a cool thing.
It's wonderful that everybody in your family was creative. So when you guys sat around the dinner table, you had a lot to chat about.
Oh, yeah.
We did. And it was really great because we listened to a lot of music, a lot of classical music at one point before we became teenagers, and then we just wanted Led Zeppelin and beyond.
Exactly. That sounds about right.
So, some of the most recognized artists were plein air artists. Do